Alright, got the 57 SR pulled in the shop here. We'll open up this smoking motor and see what's going on. Kind of think, well, I don't think it's broke rings because it wasn't blowing smoke rings. But I'm gonna bet it has a pretty scored up cylinder. And I'm hoping it's not 30 over. I don't know. I never took the head off of this, so we're gonna go on an exploration mission here later. After getting done with the 99 Pro 8 last night, so always keep a project in the shop, keep you busy. Yep, and there's this. Still in the shop, still busy. Anyhow, Tractor Club meeting is this Thursday, this is Sunday, so see what happens there. So, anyhow, later guys. We're gonna talk about tires. I'm getting tired of tires. So I got the head off anyhow, and you can definitely see the amount of oil this thing has been burning by all the carbon and oil deposits on top of the piston there. Haven't actually looked at the bottom of the cylinder head yet. It's over here where I got some more light. And, oh yeah, it's really carboned up too. I mean, there's a lot of carbon on there. Head gasket looks okay. It's old and rusty. But see, the sealing, it's good to the sealing surface. See, everything that's messed up is outside of the sealing surface. So like I said, it looks okay. The only thing I noticed was when I went to remove the head bolts, it seemed like this one here had no threads in it. So, put the spark plug wire over here, so hopefully it'll jump just in case I turn this thing far enough. Yep, because it was an exhaust stroke. So, with my handy dandy pocket flashlight, the cylinder walls do not look terrible. I have seen way worse, that's for sure. I would say the piston definitely seems loose in the bore. I can't really hold the flashlight and show you guys, but maybe it's not as bad as I think it is. Yeah, might be able to get away with new rings. I'm wondering if the rings are just stuck, to be honest with you, but I'd say it's been run like that for quite a while. Perhaps could use an oversized piston. Next step I'll do here, bring it right to top dead center. I'll clean the top of the piston off and just see what size it's already bored over or not. And I'm going to go from there. And I think you guys can hear the... You guys see it from here? No. Cup Cadet 71 sitting running outside. Want to make sure the it doesn't plug up the fuel tank anymore. Or the fuel tank doesn't plug up the fuel line anymore or anything, so... Okay, let me get the top of this piston cleaned off and we'll go from there. I don't know if I'll tear this apart today or not. I'm just kind of not really feeling it. You guys ever get that way? I know I do. That's why you guys will see me do 6 projects in one night and none other nights. So, it happens. So hopefully you guys will be able to see and make that out, but she's been rebuilt once in her lifetime. She's 15 over. So, now I got that flashlight wedge there. I wonder if I can, oh, nope. As soon as I turn the fan, it blows it out. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone. Get her part way down on the bore. Re-wedge flashlight. Hey, look at that. You guys can see it. I can't really get my finger on it. Screwdriver. Right here. Just trying to see how much. There really isn't. I mean, there's some, don't get me wrong. I would almost bet you the rings are just stuck on this thing. I don't know. If I get the cylinder off of this, I'll measure the ring gap and see what the heck it is and get out the service manual and see what it's supposed to be. and we'll go from there. What I've always wanted to do, guys, is I've always wanted to order, like, the chances of me using standard rings are very low, so I might skip standard rings, but like 10, 20, 30 over piston rings. And basically you can grind the rings down for the 5000s, or file them down to work. Like a 10 will work from 10 to 0 actually, and 20 will work from 20 to 11 thousandths overboard, and 30 thousandths will work from 30 to 21 thousandths, something like that. And they also make 40 and 60 over rings for these and pistons nowadays. So my plan for the moment, at least looking at it from here, is going to be get a new set of rings, run a hone down through it, and basically just see what it runs like. And I'll be flat out honest with you guys, I'm not building a machine to work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. I'm building a machine that I can start up and run, drive on and off the trailer at a show, can use it at a show, does not smoke like a train. If it smokes for 5 seconds whenever I start it up very lately, I'm okay with that, guys. I'm going to be flat out and honest with you. So I'm not planning to build a professional motor here. I just want a motor that's going to run decent. I could run maybe 8 hours a year tops, and will last for a while. So that's basically what I do with all my tractors. And if I'm planning to really use the machines, then I'll build them as close to spec as I can. So that's what I'm gonna do, fellas. And yeah, you guys probably won't see this one for a while because I'm gonna need some rings, and I swear I have like 25,000 silver rings. I don't know what the heck I did with that set of rings. TV's playing in here, so hopefully there's no music or nothing. But there is a set of rings here. One of them is stuck in that box. So I think this is the one. No, that's not an oil ring. There's a couple set of piston rings here. Somewhere I swear it was in here. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to open the box upside down too. Nope, totally wrong. Magneto parts. Huh. Anyhow, somewhere I have a set of rings floating around. I don't know what size they are. I can see if they'll work in there, but I gotta find them to use them. And if not, I have a selection of pistons in Pistonland. And I think this is all standard stuff over here, and then it goes to 30 thousandths, if I remember right. Oh, hello. Hello. Making noise. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big noise. Yeah, because right there is a 15. Did that come off of there? Yep. Yeah, anyhow. You guys get the point. What's this? This is a 15 too. I think they both come off of it. We'll go with it. Not like I can't move it. But yeah. So yank her apart, order some rings, and see what happens. So if you guys are looking for a tutorial on how to rebuild an L, this is not the place to be. If you guys are looking for what you need to take apart to rebuild an L, now you're in the right place. So, first step to realizing you need to rebuild: is your tractor smoking? Is it lacking power? I just got smoked. The bore actually looks pretty decent. Obviously I don't know what the rings look like yet because it's not tore apart. So you can kind of do these steps mostly in any kind of order, but the main thing you have to do to get down and take the cylinder off is the fan shroud has to come up off. It makes it easier to get to the bolts in the back. The cylinder comes up off easy and blah blah. So step one, I'm gonna say, is unhook the throttle cable. Going to have to take the nuts off that hold the fan shroud on and the rear hitch. Take the fan belt off, unhook the fuel line, unhook the shift levers. Then at that point, you might have to loosen the handlebar bolts a little bit, but most of the time you can get away with it. Just pivot it back a little bit to come up off the studs, pick it up, and just kind of flip it forward with the gas tank up, and you don't even have to drain the gas, providing your fuel shutoff works. So with that being said, I am going to do that, and then I will come back to you guys. And we'll pull the cylinder and see what joys await us. It's 15 over, so I know it's been apart before. What are you gonna do? 1957. Alright, so if you end up doing everything correctly, you should end up with handlebars, fuel tank, and fan shroud, like so. And you should end up with a messed up pile of nuts and bolts. And always, when you take something apart, there's always one curve. And on this one, it was this. I've never seen one of these have the weld break before on them. So that was entertaining, because you can't get the bolts off to get the bracket off, because the fan shroud's in the road. You can't get the fan shroud off because the nut won't come off. I was about ready to cut it with a cutoff wheel, but I got it. Was able to jam it with the impact and get her to spin off there eventually. So at this point, you're ready to just kind of chip the dirt away from the cylinder and pull it up off here and see what everything looks like. So I think I'll just pull it up off there, and then I'll show you guys what's going on the bench. The other thing that's nice is if you can get a bungee cord to put the shift rod out of the road, but beggar stampy choosers. It's also nice if this pipe will come off, but I'm not even going to try it. So here we go. Alrighty guys, so I got her all apart here. Got the cylinder on the bench, and I think you guys can see towards the bottom it's scarred up pretty good. Towards the top it ain't too awful bad, so I think I can probably get away with honing this. The only thing I gotta see is if, because it's 15 over already, see if I need to go to 20 and just see what that acts like. I should have a 20 over piston kicking around, and I'll just stick that in here and see what's going on. And you can see some telltale signs of somebody had this apart before. It has orange or red gasket maker on the base of the cylinder. So the other thing is, for being a 57, it's been upgraded to the newer valve adjusters. This would have had the old style from factory, so I know somebody's been into this motor and stuff like that. Bolt there instead of a welded stud, and just little things, you know. And the exhaust did just thread right out of that, so somebody had this thing apart. I would say rather recently would be my assumption. You know how that goes. So anyhow, probably gonna get the 20 over piston out, and perhaps I'll just check the hone up in the drill and just start honing this and just see what it measures out to, and go from there. So, alright guys, today that's going to be the end of this, and maybe I'll show you guys a little bit more detail putting her back together if you guys want to see it. If not, well, I'll just do the old snap of the fingers and they'll be back together, and we'll get her started and see what happens. So anyhow, later guys. 57 SR. See if we can't make it run and not smoke. Alrighty guys, after some homework here, cylinder turned out pretty good. I mean, there's some scarring like way down low where the rings, I don't think really go right there. It's about the worst spot. I think you guys can kind of see it there, right at the end. But that's the worst spot. The rest of it is cleaned up pretty good. I still got to clean this out a smidge better, but it's not bad. So now I'm just gonna start trying to size some rings for this and figure out what I need to order. I did check. Apparently 20 over pistons are a hot seller because I don't have any. So I'm going to look around and make sure in my stashes I don't have any pistons. I don't believe so, but you know, check some stuff. I thought I bought a brand new 20 over piston or something like that for the 44 and then didn't use it. I could be wrong though. So anyhow, I'm gonna start stuffing rings in here and pistons and seeing what measures out right. So be back when I figure it out, guys.